What's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you how to use a punch needle. Punch needle, punch needle, punch, 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 punch. So a lot of people had been tagging me, telling me I should try out the Magic Embroidery Pen, like that one. But after reading some reviews and talking to some people, this seemed like it was going to be the best punch needle. And I'll have a link in the description if you guys want to try this one out. Also in the description, thanks to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare, 500 of you guys will be able to get 2 months free on me. On me? Sure. So anyways, the kit that I got came with an extra spring, 2 extra needles, and 2 of the threaders. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your threader, and you're going to push it through the front of your punch needle, so it pops out the back there. Then get your floss, make sure there's enough slack, and thread it through there on the back, and pull it on through. Cool. So on the tip of the needle, there's like a flat part with a tiny little hole in it, and then the open part where your thread comes through. You're going to poke the needle through the flat part, then thread the floss and pull it through. So just have this scrap cotton fabric. So I was going to put on this hoop, and how you do that is you just put it on top of the small inner hoop, make sure you have slack on the big one, push it on, and tighten it, and make sure your fabric's nice and taut. I also have these clamps, and these are just to help me film. They're not necessary, but I thought I could begin punching the needle, but I was having a hard time with it. Right here it looks like it worked, but if you really see, or if you look, you can see I'm like using my left hand there to grab the thread when I punch it through, which isn't what you're supposed to do. It's not right. So I thought maybe I could try it on like a thicker fabric, and I was still cheating. So I had my left hand in under there. Thought maybe if I made the needle a bit longer, maybe that would help. And I thought I was just like, when I saw the videos, I thought you'd just be able to like punch it and it'd like stay, but it just kept on slipping out. Until right here. I just didn't make the stitches as long, and like I figured that if they didn't have much space, it wouldn't like pull itself out as I like made the next stitch, and that seemed to work. Yeah, so after some more experimenting and kind of figuring out more, I went back to the original cloth, and there's better fabric out there, like the weaver's cloth is really nice and helps, but this seemed to be working well enough for me. And what I found out is you got to keep rotating your pen so it's always facing the direction that you're stitching, with the open part leading the way and the flat part where your thread is poking out, like leaving like a tail. Right there, you see? But another thing that I learned is that you got to keep it really close to your cloth. And what helped me was like scraping it across the fabric, and that helped me get used to like the feel of punching it. And here's some shots of it underneath, which I thought kind of looked cool. Then the only issue I had left was how to stop it from unzipping like that, which I figured I'll figure out later. So here's a little review. You push your thread through the pointy part of your punch needle, pull your floss through. There's a flat and a curved open side. With your thread through the open part, you push your thread through the flat part, thread it, pull it. Then you just got to keep the open part in the direction you're going, and make sure the needle stays really close to the fabric as you go. So I outlined the hoop on the fabric so that when I'm sketching the design on it, I didn't make it too big. But once I got it all sketched up, I was ready to go. So after ending this line, I just cut it, and then I pulled the floss through so it goes out the back, trying to keep it nice and clean. But you can see that I'm not doing that for all of them, but I'll clean it up after I'm all done, I guess. So done. So yeah, to clean it up, what I would do is I just cut those a little bit shorter. Then with the needle, I just poke it through. And that seemed to work pretty good. So then I just had to do that on all of them. So because it just makes like little hoops on the back, I was worried about it unzipping. So I took some interfacing, and there's like a matte side, and then like a kind of like shiny plasticky side, and you put the plastic side on the back and just iron it on. And hopefully that will keep it from unzipping. Well, not too shabby. But thought I'd try something a little more difficult. Maybe? We'll see. So after just putting that out on some paper, just traced it out on the fabric. And oof, I had to get a bigger hoop because I forgot to measure it before. But we're good to go. I thought I would just start with like the black outlines, and then go through and fill it in with the colors afterwards. And I didn't pull the thread through after like each line like I showed you, and it ended up being real messy. So you can't even really see what it looks like. So it's okay, I guess, because we'll just clean it up now. So after giving it a haircut, started on the gold stitching. So usually with punch needles, this side would actually be the back, and then like the sides with the loops and whatnot would actually be the front. But we'll see how it turns out. And then moved on to the white. So to do this fill, it's actually still just like lines of stitches, but I just keep on going around and making the stitches really close to each other, like the lines really like next to each other, and it just filled it all in. And done. So I mean, it looks pretty good. It's pretty close to the original for now. Back looks pretty bad, so that's actually gonna be the back. And then instead of interfacing, I actually switched it up on you guys, and I used an iron-on adhesive. So like if I wanted to, I could actually like iron that onto some clothes right now. It's like a patch or something. But instead, I thought it'd be cool if I framed it. So I just took the back of the frame, taped it on, and slid that into place. Nice. But I wanted to try one more, where I actually use like the loop side as the front. So, whoa, is that 90s Justin Timberlake with the frosted tips? Wow. Anyways, so I traced the frame and then put the text in there and traced it out, which you'd be able to see if Guy Fieri's head wasn't in the way. But the important part is that I flipped it so it read backwards. This way when I stitch it, the loop side will be right. Does that make sense? So the back will actually be the front. So I set it to 1. So the needle is going to be really short, making the loops on the back short, or not as tall. I also was having a hard time seeing it, so I retraced all the letters, and yeah. Got it all stitched up. So now that I got the letters done, you'll see here on the back, okay, good. So it reads right, and we got the loopy loops. Then the idea was that like the background of the letters would be a bit taller, so I put the needle to 4, making the loops a little bit longer. And then I just went around and around and around and around and around and around until I ran out. I had like that much left and I ran out. So I went and got some more. This actually took like 4 or 5 things of embroidery floss. But there you go. Made some ground beef.
Is that ground beef?
When I framed this, my roommate came in and he was like, "Oh, cool, we framed some meat." But then he looked at it closer. But anyways, thought it turned out pretty cool. So probably one of the more frequent questions that I get from you guys is where and how I learned to do all this stuff. And to be honest, guys, a lot of it was learned from me just like playing around and trying to figure things out. And the other is from looking it up online, and this is where today's sponsor comes in, Skillshare. So Skillshare is this online learning community where you can just learn a bunch of things. They have thousands of different classes, and it makes it so you guys don't have to do the struggling part that I always end up doing, where I don't quite know what I'm doing. The teachers over at Skillshare do know, and they know a lot much more in a bunch of different categories. They have a lot of stuff in like design, business, and technology, and more. And the best thing about Skillshare, guys, is it's not going to break the bank to learn all these things. Unlike other online courses where you usually have to pay for like each individual course, they have a premium plan where it's just $10 a month and you can stream all of their videos and get access to all their content. Probably my favorite thing is actually in this lifestyle category with the crafts. They have a bunch of rad things to make and learn. So like I said before, for the first 500 who sign up under this link, you get the first 2 months for free with no commitment. And I don't think you have to even enter in like your credit card or anything. So might as well go do it. You guys, most of you guys I figure are probably in summer right now. So why not use these 2 months to learn something you want to learn and further your skill. They can probably help you get opportunities to go all the way in whatever it is that you want to do or be in life. So yeah, go check out the link. And then just lastly, if you guys want one of these embroidery pieces that I made today, I'm actually going to be giving them away to my patrons, so you can go sign up there. If you just even sign up in the $1 pledge, you can enter into the drawing to win one of these rad embroidery pieces. So neat.